Empty chest, wooden crate. Take it all. It runneth over naught. It's just an underground looting area. Not much. Whoa! Okay, we've got that turned on. Let's just attack you. Bam! Absorbed. Attack again! Absorbed. Shocking touch. Yet to see what this does. Stun. 6 AP. That's weird. Madora. Let's move you. Is she stuck? Okay, let's do battering ram. Hey. And attack again. Fire! $430. Funny penny bun mushrooms. What an interesting turn of events. Oh wow.
That creature there looks like it'd like to play fetch with our femurs.
Is that a zombie doll? Man's best friend, my honey.
My honey. Hello? You know what? Why don't we retreat? Let's play this smart. We'll go back.
I need to dry off.
We'll do the same to all. Let's retreat, guys. Let's retreat. Let's just all take a breath and retreat. There we go. He's coming closer. He's coming closer. Yeah, that's right. Come closer. Bam! We're coming closer! Okay, now that we got some leverage, let's do this.
Nowhere is safe from my arrows!
Nowhere is safe from my arrows. Let's move you. How much is it for the round before? Let's move you. If we do that, she'll get killed. Leave her here. And let's move you over here. Jaihan. You're over there. How much? 4 AP? 4 AP. I gotta get a clear shot. Just gotta get a clear shot. Go. Oh, it's nearly dead. Fucking bitch. Oh, he's in trouble now. He's running. He's running. He is running. The dude is in trouble. 5 AP. Hey! Get down. Get down. Retreat even more, or you could stay. We'll stay. Let's the lowest here. Let's just attack that one. Miss! Miss, miss, miss. Well, at least one of them fell. Just attack this one. Which we gotta attack again.
That ought to hurt.
Oh yeah. Man, she is strong.
I need to dry off.
I need to dry off. Kill that guy. Again. Can't hit him with fire. Let's just get him. Kill that guy.
Found it!
Oh man, we got issues with our archer. Keeps missing.
I can smell your fear.
I can smell your fear.
Vermin!
Winner, winner, winner.
My kingdom for a dry shirt!
I'll save that. Take the gold.
Bless the seven. I am
Kinda
restored.
hurt. Kinda hurt. Mushrooms. Give me the mushrooms. Looking good. Something that I can replace for Medora. Cloth bracers. Let's give that to Medora. Bracers, Roderick. Piddly's Soul. We don't have a one-handed class or character here. Just need to deal with that. There we go. Sort by type. Now let's move on. What's down here? Twin dragons. Yeah, I suspect you're a puzzle. Ah, well. I don't have any clues to figure this out yet, so. Anything else to loot? Nope. Let's go. Let's get out of here. Let's get out of here.
You could do any real damage.
Arius?
Ah, the Source Hunter. Oh, joyous hour.
Let's discuss Jake's
What
murder.
about it?
Jake's corpse.
I see. You've come to report a dead sheep. A heap of mutton that sailed into view upon your robbing the grave of a councillor. Lovely. Well, don't just stand there gawking like guppies. Hie yourself to Roberts the mortician. If anyone buried a sheep, obviously it was him.
Oh, Roderick, huh? In regards to Jake's wife, Esmeralda.
Well, have you found any
I wonder if this guy's got some...
You, again! Do feel free to depart from Sicil at your earliest convenience.
Right.
No, sir.
Hello? What's going to look first? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? There's Robert's. Take it. Open chest key. Everything is all steel.
So, what's the bad news? More orcs rampaging through the docks? Or have those infernal statues sent another soul flying to his death?
Let's check your wares, Roberts. There's nothing on today.
This here's my family business. Yes, there's been a Roberts escorting stiffs into the next life since the foundation of Sicil itself. They don't write epics about morticians, but I'm proud of my work nonetheless.
What can you tell me about Jake's murder?
Sad story, that. Though if I'm speaking plainly, the sentimental aspect of it all doesn't make much of an impression on an undertaker. Especially not these days, with so many laid low by the orcs and such like. I just concern myself with giving the remains a respectable exit from life. We set him to rest in the northern graveyard. Perhaps he can finally get a little peace. A sheep? That's a whole heap of nonsense. Don't bother me with such wild tales.
That's what I found. Sway this character by charming, intimidating, or reasoning. If your perception is high enough, you can see in brackets what answers grants the highest bonus. I don't see that. I'll tell you what, and I won't bother bringing you alongside. I've heard that you're a good man. Now's your chance to help your community come clean, and whoever's responsible for taking the body could be brought to justice. Look, it's clear I'm only a few steps away from solving this mystery. If you don't tell me the truth, I'll simply find it another way. Why delay the inevitable? Right, that's right. I'm waiting now.
I suppose you're right. At least if I tell you myself, you'll hear the proper account of things. I buried that blasted sheep, but I swear on my lucky left foot I had nothing to do with that body disappearing. 1 minute it was on my slab, you see. I left the room for just a moment to answer the bell in the front parlor, and when I returned, the body was simply gone.
You got duped, man. You got duped. Someone tricked you.
In its place was a sack containing more gold coins than I could even count. The message was clear. Silence is golden.
Oh.
My business has been declining right alongside the rest of our blighted city. And that sack of gold was worth more than I made during one of the good years. I needed cash, and someone needed my silence.
Understandable. So someone bribed you to it, huh?
I knew I had to bury something or risk being found out. So that night, I stole into the market and made off with Bertia's fattest sheep. It was a bloody waste to stick so much fine meat into the ground to rot, but it had to be done. The next day, the pallbearers retrieved Jake's coffin, sealed to hide the body's terrible wounds, none the wiser that within the casket lay nothing more venerable than a slaughtered beast.
A slaughtered beast.
Now, you can imagine I've spent more than my share of restless nights, wondering who could have wanted that cadaver, and for what purpose. I'm not an inch closer to imagining the why, but I've got a few inklings as to the who. Near as I can reckon, there are only 4 people who could have been involved. Mayor Cecil, Captain Aureus, Theleron's apprentice Evelyn, and Esmeralda. Plenty of us shopkeepers entrust the mayor with the spare keys to our businesses, you know. and he's the only person in town with a second copy of the key to the mortuary. He could have used it to sidle in without a peep, if he were so inclined. Aureus himself paid me a visit the night the body was delivered. Came rapping at my door in the frosty morning before the sun had even started peeping, and told me to tell him, and only him, if I noticed anything strange or suspicious about the remains. Can't see why he'd bothered to go through all that trouble, unless he knew something the rest of us don't.
Maybe he's just being overprotective, stressed out. He's probably just stressed out.
I know it sounds strange suspecting the doctor's apprentice of something so ghoulish as this, but there's few in this city could manage to transport a corpse without raising eyebrows. It was she who delivered Jake's body from the inn to the mortuary, and there was something about her that night. Some kind of excitement. Seemed she could barely contain her thoughts, that there was something thrilling about to happen. I can't quite settle it in my mind how a young medical professional would have such a strange reaction to an occasion such as that.
I reckon it's her.
And this may or may not have anything to do with the whole rigmarole. But her master, Dr. Theleron, bought an old shack of mine, one overtaken by undead, for an exorbitant price considering what he was getting. I never did figure what he wanted it for, but he sure seemed eager. I never saw a widow less distraught at the death of her husband, and I've seen hundreds pass through my parlor.
Yeah, she's not very convincing.
It was she who rang my bell just before the body was snatched, lured me outside claiming she needed air, before discussing the funeral arrangements. Some accomplice could have sneaked in and grabbed the remains while I was comforting the oh-so-overcome Esmeralda.
About that bag of gold.
That gold's the only good thing to come out of this blasted affair, and I certainly plan on making some use of it.
Just gonna hand over this blood money before it stains your reputation and your conscience. Unless you'd like to involve the Legion, I suggest you hand over that gold immediately. Deserves this money more than anyone. Hand over the gold so it can make its way to its rightful owner. It makes sense, you know, he doesn't deserve the gold, but at the same time he was bribed to keep silent, so kind of a tough choice to be in for D-Roll Roberts. Come now, you're a good man. Which one should I do? Charm? Reason? Charm? Yeah, we'll do reason. This again. Scissors, bait. Oh my god. Losing streak here. Wow! Wow! Complete rip.
That old bag's as fat as a heifer. She won't miss that sheep for a moment, and she sure as hell won't starve over it.
Oh well. We've discovered that there are 4 possible people that might have taken Jake's body. He or she had better start shaking in their boots. Alright, let's go. Let's go talk to... what's his name? Let's go to Mayor Cecil first, since that's the first on the list. I think we already met him. I think it's this one. This is the house. Mayor's house. Mayor Cecil's office. That's the one. Well, that's the one!